Yo, you tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy 2019.
2019.
Get ready
Full
for
effect.
scribbling on your papers 1819 for
Right.
the rest of like the next 3 months
I
because
know,
we
that's
all are
gonna
going to
be-
be doing that.
That is
Welcome
gonna
back. It's Girl Chat Sports. We're live up here in Guerilla Cross
be- Yes, we are.
on a Wednesday.
Yep, turn up on a Wednesday. First Wednesday of the year.
Yeah, this is first Wednesday of the year.
And first Girl Chat Sports of the year.
What? Episode 113.
Yes.
So I'm going to go over here and start sharing real quick just so people can participate. What's
Okay.
the number to call in at, though?
So the number you can call in is 702-608-3259. I even posted on my Instagram right now.
Oh,
Like
yeah?
telling everybody to call in.
And just
chat
remember
with
for
us.
everybody, we do have a guest today, Ceceila Towns. She's out in Atlanta. She's a CEO and founder of Gladiate Hers. We're going to have her talking about a special event that she has coming up over Super Bowl weekend in
Yep.
Atlanta, as well as a couple other things we want to talk about. But while she is on the phone with us, that means no one else can call in. So if
Yeah.
you want to call in and get some questions or get some stuff going, do it before or after we talk with her, please.
Yes. Definitely.
I
So you had a good New Year's?
had a great New Year's.
Good.
And it was chill. Like I got to spend it. I've always, if anybody knows me, I've always wanted to have my feet in the sand for New Year's without obviously being on a nice island or
Right,
something.
right.
So one year it kind of came close, and I was at the Lake Las Vegas, because the Westin has like the little sand right there.
Mhm.
It wasn't like that. So I was in California, obviously, for the Rose Bowl. So I was staying in Newport with my girl Sheila. Shout out to Sheila. Thank you for the room and board, her and Lacey. And I got to spend it in Newport. Feet in the sand. We had chairs, blankets. It was chilly, but I had my shoes off, socks off, walking in the sand, walked all the way out to the water, got it in there for the new year and brought it back. I was grounded with the earth. So that's how I wanted to spend.
So a spiritual going into
Yeah, I wanted to
2019.
make 2019 special. I wanted to make sure that I was doing things that I was knocking off bucket list things already
Mhm.
leading into there by being on the beach, by going to the Rose Bowl. And so, yeah, it started off really well.
Oh, well,
How
that's
about
good.
you?
Oh, you know, the turn up is real always with me. If everybody knows me, they know I turn up. Shout out to Ray, Ricardo, DJ
You love
Vega.
getting out, too.
I do, but this was a house party, and it turned out to be just a great, great time with good people going
love
into
that.
2019. So thanks so much. Shout out again to Ray, DJ Vega,
Oh,
Rick,
Okay.
Lady, just for the hospitality and having myself and the crew come through. Because, you know, I always have an entourage with me.
Always. How
I
many
always have
people
an
you roll with?
entourage. I roll deep. I don't know. I can't even keep count. I think it was like 11 of us coming through there. I don't know. It was supposed to be more. So, but anyway, we made it happen. You know, it was a life. We had a good time. It was a good 2019 rolling too. But
That's what I'm
a lot
talking
of stuff's already popping off in 2019.
Let's talk about it.
Man.
Let's start with some of the bowl games.
Okay.
Okay.
Go
so
for it.
you came in
No,
here.
no. Let's even go back before. the bowl-
Okay.
So the first bowl game. Let's talk
Yes.
about Clemson and Notre Dame.
Right, because you came in here huffing and puffing about who would even have thought about Notre Dame taking it and winning it. We had Jerome on
Yeah.
last week. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's a Notre Dame alumni,
Right.
so we'll give that a little break because you got to root for your team. But Notre Dame was non-existent.
Oh, they were no show.
I
Three
mean,
points?
how do you even get 3 points?
3 points. I didn't even see that play. It was like a blink and 3 points, and then that was it. But like I was telling you, and shout out to our producer Quan over here.
What's up to Quan?
That I was telling you that they haven't won. This is their fourth meetup with Notre Dame, and they haven't won. The only time Notre Dame ever beat Clemson was back in '77, and that's when Joe Montana was the quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. So they this is their fourth meeting, and yeah, it didn't go as well. Didn't go as planned. I think this was the worst scoring game that they've had in their meetup.
Really?
It has to be 3 points. That's some Raiders type stuff. That's what we had.
It wasn't good.
It was not.
It wasn't good.
It really was not.
You know, and then of course we can move over to the Alabama
yeah.
game.
Oh
where
yeah,
I
well, we
think
knew
we
that
all
was
kind
going
of
to
knew
be
that
a
was
go.
happening.
We knew that was going to happen. Yeah, we totally
Yeah.
knew that was
And then Kyler Murray, I mean, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, lately it seems to be a trend where the Heisman candidates, if they didn't come from Alabama, they're not advancing to a playoff.
Is it like a jinx or something?
It has
that
to
people
be
got going
because the
on?
last person that made it past the playoffs was a player from Alabama who was
Really?
a Heisman winner. Yeah.
Oh, see now. I
Yeah.
don't
So
know about all that.
I do. So that was bad. And then your poor Rose Bowl, New Year's Day.
Yes, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
First, let me say this. Whoever is, I don't know if it's just the part of California and Pasadena that the Rose Bowl is held, but there for Verizon, I have Verizon.
I do too.
I
Shout out
had
to Verizon.
zero service. When I tell you, if I would have known that to begin with, I would have like made sure I made times and places to meet up with people.
You're
But
kidding.
from the moment I walked onto like the area of Rose Bowl, the arena, the golf club, the whatever else is right there in that area, I had I'm talking like barely could make a call, couldn't text for nothing. I literally
They wanted you to be focused on this game.
and
man.
I was focused, but I even went on Facebook today briefly for a second. I didn't even check, but I think my post from yesterday was still pending. Like it hadn't gone through.
That's what it was, because I noticed Girl Chat. I was like, she hasn't posted anything on the
Man.
Girl Chat page from the Rose Bowl. She's there. We're talking about this, and no post. But then today,
Yeah.
they started
Oh, they
rolling in.
did.
They rolled in, and I was like, how did she post that before my post?
How
on
is
all
that
the other college
possible?
bowl game results? Like, how did that even happen?
Ah.
But it did. So I just was like, oh, that's because good old Verizon.
So I don't know
Not
how many
having
people have
service.
actually gone. I mean, last time we were in the Rose Bowl was 2001. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go. That was the year I graduated from UW. I don't know how many people out there have gone to their school's big, bowl game. I went to Fiesta last year. It was at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. I'd been there 1,000 times to the Seahawks. It wasn't that exciting. It was just like a regular bowl game. But Rose Bowl, I think Juan looked it up for me today. It was built in like 1923. So we're looking at like 100 years old, right? It's a century-year old. And they packed almost 92,000 people in the stadium.
Oh, I believe it.
And it looked like it was only probably like 40. Like, I can't believe there was that. There was people like on the press box areas. There's a roof. There was people on top of the roof standing.
Wow.
It was over capacity, but and the amount of walking I did, I don't even know how. My
That's
legs,
incredible.
I couldn't walk today.
Well, they had the parade, and then they do the parade.
Yeah, I
with
didn't even
roses
get to
and
the
all
parade
of that.
part,
Yeah.
yeah.
So shout out to the people that posted footage. Most of my friends, unfortunately, not unfortunately, because they're dope.
Yeah.
But shout out to Alex, shout out to John, both Buckeye fans. So they represented.
And my girl, my best
Posting
friend
and-
Joy, she's
Joy
a
is-
Buckeye,
yeah, she
and
is,
so
yeah.
and then we
I
have to
saw
go
the
against
goal-
her
I
this
saw-
weekend too.
Yeah, I saw how you guys had the debate on that. That was very interesting. You guys were going back and forth on the
So
comments.
here's the deal. I don't even know where the Huskies were the first half. They were, talk about non-existent. They were non-existent. We had
It was like
nothing
3
happening.
points when I turned in the second half. It was like
21 to 3 at halftime, 28 to 3
Yeah,
at the
that's what I
third
saw.
quarter. So we had 20 points without any response from Ohio
That's
State.
crazy.
So we got close, but it was like, the story of all Seattle teams, too little, too late. And
Right.
unfortunately, it wasn't helping us. I know for me, to not have like a John Ross or a Dante Pettis
Right.
that we used to have to throw the ball to, a wide receiver that can make those big make those big moves. We didn't quite have that this year, and that was, I think, what I felt was missing on Saturday. I'm sorry, yesterday.
I mean, it came down to the wire where you guys had started gaining some footing. And the cool thing, I have to give you guys props because you never let them score again.
no.
So they held their,
Unanswered,
you held their
20
28.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So honestly, it was a game that you guys could have won. There were a few rookie mistakes, like the one pass where the kid was about to catch, it looked like a catch, and it just slipped right through his fingers. Like it ain't even.
And there was a
cold,
couple
son.
calls that were a little. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff. But the thing is that we didn't come to play the first half. Had we come to play the first half,
Right.
we may have been able to hang in. And the thing is that we had an offsides kick with like 41 seconds left. Had that actually gone in our favor, this may have been a whole different story.
Absolutely.
So, but shout out to my Huskies. Shout out to there was so many old Huskies, not old, but
The alumni.
our
and the
alumni
family.
that were
Yeah, I
there.
get
Shout
ya.
out to my boy Gerald. I hung out with Gerald that was out there.
Right.
I hadn't seen him for a long time, so he was my roll dog for a little bit. Saw people I hadn't seen. There's people that I'm seeing today on social media that were there that I didn't even know were there. A, because my phone was crappy, and two, because there were so many people. I didn't realize that many people were still coming.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big thing. So Pasadena, weather was what? How was the weather?
It wasn't. So it was sunny
Mm-hmm.
for the game was at 2, so we were out there from like 11:30 on. I mean, I probably have some kind of weird tan line because my hat was backwards. I had sunglasses on, but it was super sunny and it was probably like 65. But once that sun hit behind the bowl,
Right.
burr! I'm talking. I put my down on. I had a nice little purple scarf and had my hat. I wish I'd had a beanie. It's the only thing I was missing. That and gloves. It got cold, but Huskies
Didn't get
away.
as cold as it does here, does it?
Shout out to Arlington's out there. Oh, Larry, boy, LF's out there. His son was repping the Husky shirt today. I was like, I had a hat in the car I was gonna wear for the show just because I'm gonna always stay proud of my team and.
Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, your basketball team won that same day.
They did. I'm a Husky through and through. I love the Huskies.
Got your little purple and.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Shout out to Miley. Miley does my nails. And
purple and gold.
people
nails.
in the stands like, oh, look at your nails. I'm like, well, they were green last week for the Seahawks, and
yeah, they were a great. Bright green for the Seahawks. Oh, speaking of that, I mean, I know we'll get into it with the NFL, but I honestly think you guys will beat Dallas this Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on you guys.
So, not to promote texting and using your phone while driving, I was on my way to California on Sunday for the Rose Bowl weekend, eekish. And this is right after Seattle had just won Cardinals, so we weren't sure as to when they were playing, we knew they were playing Dallas. We didn't know what time, which day.
Right.
It hits 5 o'clock on Saturday, and I got in this group text, and people like, so who's going to Dallas? Are we doing Dallas? I'm finding tickets. I'm finding flights. And I had to just say, you know what? Let me back up. Sorry, Dallas. As much as I really want to be there, and as much as my boy, I know Young, had tickets ready to sell for me, and I had a ticket that I was ready to go, it's not happening.
What's holding you back, though, from that?
I just need to be I've been to Seattle and LA and then Dallas for 3 weeks in a row. I haven't been home for a weekend.
So what's wrong with that?
I love my Shug.
I know. I'm about to say Shug needs mommy
Shug
time.
needs some
I was
mommy
gonna say,
time.
well, you took Shug with you to California, didn't you?
No, I didn't take him to California with me.
Oh, you did?
That was just a promo picture.
I thought the dog had rolled with you too.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
we're coming up soon on calling our special guest.
yes, is it that time?
Yeah,
we are.
it's
So
almost time.
I know. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about some Vegas sports.
Yeah.
Definitely, we got to talk about stuff, and we're gonna talk with Ceceila about one of your hot topics that you wanted to
Yeah,
discuss.
I mean, we might as well get into the hot topic right now. So,
What, we want to get her on the phone first.
well, the thing of it is
All right.
that we talk about it, and
Yeah.
she mentions it. No one's gonna know what we're talking
Okay,
about, right?
so
Does that
give
make
us the
sense, or is that-
backstory.
So the backstory is this. So, we have a young lady who works for. She played for the WNBA for quite some time.
Yeah.
She used to play for the Sparks, and now she plays for the Washington Mystics. And remember, we had that conversation about when the women are off season from not playing for their teams because it's not WNBA season. They do other gigs. You know,
Right.
some play overseas.
A lot of
some-
them, like all of our
Right.
aces, most of them are overseas right now.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, in particularly, this particular person has a lifetime opportunity to become an NBA assistant coach or work into the NBA. Okay, and apparently, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna work with the Wizards because the owner of the Wizards also owns the Washington Mystics, so that's how she was able to
Okay.
get in and do that.
That makes sense.
And she's doing this wonderful opportunity for a whopping. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Her name is Christy Tolliver.
Okay, Christy, yes.
Yes, Christy Tolliver.
Mhm.
She's got an opportunity to be NBA assistant coach, work with the other coaches.
She's currently doing
She's
that,
currently
right?
doing
Yes.
this right now.
Uh-huh.
She's making $10,000. $10,000. When the average salary for an NBA assistant
Right.
is from $100,000 to $1 million. Okay? She's making $10,000.
That
She's making $10,000. She's not doing anything else but being an assistant coach,
How-
learning, the trade and everything, just learning everything, but still title NBA assistant coach for the Washington Wizards, $10,000.
how is that possible?
Well, the owner is saying that it's basically the way the pay structure is when you own two teams. You have a $50,000 salary cap within the WNBA for people that want to do other things aside from being a player.
But
so
how-
they divvy that up, I guess. So to me, that tells me there's 4 other people making $10,000 in some facet of the NBA doing some kind of.
So why
I'm gonna
even
call it
work
like
for
an
them?
intern. I'm gonna call it like an internship,
It is
man.
an internship.
Well, it's $10,000.
You basically getting paid your traveling expenses, maybe. That's
and then
about it.
here's another thing too. It's just unfortunate to me because even with the WNBA players not making the money that they should be making, they fly commercial. The Aces canceled the game.
We had that whole issue.
Yes,
yeah,
they canceled the game
because of
it. Yes, to go out to DC because the flight was delayed over 24 hours. So by the time they get there,
there was like 2 flights that had been delayed and canceled. Yeah,
where all the other NBA teams, all the male
Right.
NBA teams are flying their charter.
and I have a
team.
hard time sitting in regular seats. I'm 5'10". Can you imagine being 6'6" or 6'4" or 6 whatever?
How about just boarding Southwest at the cattle call and your boarding pass number is 50 and the rest of your teammates are 20 or something? Y'all can't even sit together.
Ooh,
How about that?
Lord. Well,
So the reason why I had to preface this is because I wanted to ask her thought on that because that's kind of interesting.
All right, well,
$10,000.
let's get her on the line.
Yeah, let's do
please.
it. And just a reminder, guys, you can't call in while we're on this interview, but after.
If you have any questions, you can ask through the chat, and I'll let her know about those.
absolutely.
Since we can kind of see.
Yeah, because, I mean, $10,000. That's all I got to say about that.
I can't even. That's ridiculous.
It makes no sense. It just.
Hello.
Hey, Cecelia.
Hey, how
Hi,
are you?
Cecelia.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
We're great. How are
Welcome
you?
back to Girl Chat Sports. You are our former guest with us, and now we've got Mo with us now. So, Mo, meet Cecelia. We're here, and we're so excited to have you on the show today.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh,
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
We're so excited to have you on.
So, real quick, a little bit about Cecelia. So, she is a HBCU graduate from Howard, played tennis on the tennis team there. Also has started, is the founder and CEO of Gladiate Hers, that's HERS, which is Women's in Sports Empowerment. You have a summit coming up, actually, which is going to be over the Super Bowl weekend.
Yep.
So, we want to definitely talk about that. But kind of tell us a little about Gladiators and what it means to you and why you started something like this.
Yeah, so I think Gladiators is really a reflection of who I am and what I think is important, which is really advocating for women in wherever spaces we find ourselves. But our I guess, most specific target is sports, because sports is something that is so very important to me. I wouldn't be who I am today without sports. I started it really as a blog to just have an outlet to talk about women in sports. I started in 2012. And it was really, I was just frustrated with the coverage for women in the sports industry. And so, we started as a blog, but we're doing so much more now. We're hosting events like mixers and conferences to connect women in sports, to educate women in sports. We have a mentorship program now. We provide weekly content, about professional development. So we just have a lot going on, but it's all geared at supporting women in the sports industry.
I love that.
That's awesome. I just think this is absolutely amazing. And I was checking out your website and also a YouTube video full of how everything is set up for her mixers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like well planned out, organized. The testimonials were amazing. These were young kids coming out of school that were interested in different facets of sports, but didn't know that these type of careers existed.
Right.
And one of the testimonies was like, God, I would have never known in my undergraduate studies.
I would have loved that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
That we would have had an opportunity. I mean, even like if you were to go to law school, didn't know that you could be a sports agent.
Sure.
Even it's still a competitive thing for women to be agents, But the fact that you had that, and you had just even on a marketing standpoint or branding or any of those kind of things in the world of sports, you have opened the doors for women to recognize that we do have a role and that it can be a niche for us to get in something like that as a career. I'm very impressed with that.
Absolutely.
I'm very impressed with that.
Thank you.
And you played for Howard too, right? You played when you were at Howard as well?
I played tennis.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I played tennis.
Shout out to the HBCUs. I'm representing my Southern
did.
University.
She got her Southern hoodie on.
Hoodie on.
Yes,
Shout out to because I had some great girlfriends of mine that graduated from Howard, played volleyball for them. Shout out to Carla, Erica, team manager Remy, Adrian. Shout out to those girls. You guys are amazing coming out of Howard, doing big things. So what can you tell us about Super Bowl 53, about this summit? And will this summit be a traveling summit? Will we just not stop at the Super Bowl 53? Will we do it at an Essence Festival? Or where else can we see you after you do this summit?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to make it an annual event. And the thought right now is to tie it to the Super Bowl so that people can easily know to look for us at the Super Bowl, and then we'll continue to do our smaller events. But the summit pretty much is going to happen in two main portions. There'll be a conference portion that'll have our workshops, a luncheon. Our keynote speaker at the luncheon is Jocelyn Moore, and she's the Executive Vice President of Communications and Public Affairs at the NFL.
Wow.
And then we'll have a panel discussion. And interestingly enough, you mentioned female agents. One of our panelists is Nicole Lynn, and she's like the NFL and softball, some other sports she does, agent for Young Money Sports, though. She's really amazing.
Very nice.
30 years old, like knocking the head on its, knocking the game on its head. Yeah.
Nice.
And then the second part of the summit will be a mixer. So there will be another panel discussion there, but, by and large, it'll be about everyone who's attending, just getting the opportunity to really talk to each other and network with each other.
Yeah, that's so
and that's
awesome.
part of the biggest keys in this field is the networking.
Yeah,
and being able
absolutely.
to, it's because at some point it's not just about how much experience you have or what education background you have. It's who you know and how you can talk to them about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you also go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you guys are absolutely right. The way this summit actually came about is strictly through my network. We're having the opportunity to have the NFL be involved. They're sponsoring 40 women to attend 40. Yeah. And all of that is possible because of the network that I have been able to establish and maintain. So it really is key.
Well, and speaking about your network, so if you guys haven't, follow Ceceila on all social media at Sporty Esquire, as well as at Gladiate Hers, HERS. So on social media, I know on Instagram you do on IGTV Working Woman Wednesday, which is phenomenal. Both you and Charlene, is it Charlene, right? Have both do these Working Woman Wednesdays, where it's a live feed, kind of branching on topics that most females, as well as other just people in business, want to learn and understand and kind of get the background. Maybe give us a understanding as what got you started with that. Were you getting questions from people or?
Yeah, I was getting questions, but again, the whole premise for Gladiators and another venture that I started, which was Beyond the Game, was really to just educate people and help people, I guess, in a way that I didn't have help. So when I graduated from law school, or actually before that, when I graduated from undergrad, there wasn't a lot of direction given. You just had to go figure it out. And same thing with law school. You have career services, but nobody tells you how to send the email. Nobody tells you how to find your mentor at work. And all of these things, I realized the quicker you learn them, the faster you're going to progress in your career. So I just decided to say, look, I'm going to get on, social media for 10 minutes every Wednesday and just share some of the things that have been influential in my success and some things that I'm still, sort of figuring out. I might know these things, but they're still taking, I'm still working at them.
I'm still working at most of my life still. And
I know.
I'm watching these okay, those are good points.
Right, they are.
Jot a couple notes down.
I think what I'm most impressed about is the fact that you're willing to share the information.
Yeah.
So many times people get information and don't want to share it.
Well, not just the successes, it's also some of the failures. You share some of the failures that you or somebody else
but
you've
just
known.
even passing the knowledge down or putting you in the right lines or right pipelines to meet certain people. People close that door.
Yes.
Some of the time.
Absolutely.
And it's not fair that they do that. And I feel like I'm just most in admiration for you, that the fact that you're willing to share, that the big keyword of sharing everything.
Because some people don't want to.
No, they don't. They block you. They block you. There'll be a pipeline I'll get you into meeting this person, but then you never meet that person.
Haters.
Yeah,
hate.
it's very interesting. It's just that this idea of scarcity, right? Like people feel like, oh, there's not enough to go around. And just the way I was raised, my faith, just in general, how my life works,
right?
It's always enough for everybody to eat. And
it really is.
Like there's no reason. Like I've always believed that me helping somebody else is not going to stop my shine.
No. And there's there's no such thing as far as if you're doing that, no competition. Because think about the scenario:
Right.
you go to the grocery store, you go on the bread aisle. How many brands of bread on the shelf?
Exactly.
And they all still get by.
There's plenty of growth. You know what I mean? Like there should be no question that we can't pass this on.
Yeah.
So you have something coming up on the 20th too. You have a Learn the Biz workshop. Am I right about that?
Yeah. So
you got to Learn the Biz workshop coming up on the 20th, right?
Yeah, so it's sort of a build-up for the summit.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking to a woman. Her name is Jeanette Robertson, and she works for Under Armour. And so it's kind of giving you a preview of what the summit is going to bring, which is the ability to hear from, learn from women who have made it in the sports industry. But also, we know everybody can't come to the summit. So if you can't come, you could get a little taste by, joining us for the webinar or the discussion.
Very nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, because, man, if I would have had a little more time,
I would have loved
to
I
go
know.
out there. Man.
Well, don't you ladies worry. You'll have plenty of time next year.
Oh, yes.
For other events.
Oh,
And
yes.
Yeah.
And we
Not
want
a
you to come to
problem.
Vegas, too, because there's so many young women that are really just, even if it's not sports, just trying to look for a
Well,
way
and I
for
noticed that one of
entrepreneurship.
the panelists is Russia Brown. So
for the Aces,
yeah. From the
Yeah.
Aces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our little hometown feel right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely, at least, for mixers, we're going to branch out with them in a major way this year. So, we're going to go up north, we want to come out west. So we'll definitely be in Vegas.
Awesome.
Well, we travel too.
Yeah.
We'll get out there.
I mean, I'm willing to get out there. I'm willing to get out there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I tell you what, we go out there, and then we invite her to come back this way.
And have you live in the studio
right,
so we
exactly.
can see,
Yeah.
And then we can set up an event where we have Cecelia and
There we
other
go.
females can come in. And, so
it's all about spreading
Perfect.
and encouraging others.
It is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So before we called you, we were talking about Christy Tolliver.
Yes.
Are you familiar with this story?
Yes. Of course I am.
Okay, so this is just, help me understand this.
Is there something that we're missing?
Right,
Are
$10,000.
Are we
I need to
missing something?
understand how the $50,000
Well,
is supposed to get allocated, gets broken up. Like I don't understand. Just
Well, I think really what it boils down to, which is something that I talk about often, is negotiating, right?
right.
So this pocket of money this I guess form of payment, it's based in the collective bargaining agreement, right? And that means that the women selected their representatives, and their representatives met with league officials, and they agreed to this stuff, right? And so I'm not saying that it's the player rep's fault, but it is based, how we got here is very much so based in contract and an agreement that was made. And so I think that, there is nothing wrong with trying to go back to the table and ask for more, but we have to just become better negotiators. We have to have the forethought. We have to have sort of the gumption to ask for more. And again, this is not me saying that it's their fault, because I do know that money is scarce in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
But we sometimes we have to get a little more creative in our negotiating tactics. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was last year. Well, I think it was 2017 actually, so not 2018. But the women's U.S. soccer team and the women's U.S. hockey teams engaged in, these major strikes.
That's
and negotiating. And the hockey team, they came out on top,
Mm-hmm.
and it became no excuse that there wasn't money in the budget. No, you're going to pay us what you owe us. And so I think that, it really is tragic that this woman is doing all this work for $10,000. But, we got to be better negotiators.
I guess I'm also lost in the fact that these other women are out of the country playing overseas to get more income because of their salaries in the WNBA, yet they're not being monitored or having to make under a certain amount, even though it's their off season. Like, this is her off season. She should be able to pick up a job and work it for whatever they're paying her.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be dependent on this and who made 50,000? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it basically,
again, so it's only, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, it's not like there is a salary cap necessarily in this instance, because it is something that was agreed to in their collective bargaining agreement. And so she could go make more. So say she wanted to have that job, or that role, or say the Lakers offered her that role, right? She would not be limited in the same way. The way the agreement was written is specifically that if you go work for a team that is owned by the same yes,
that's what it was.
Then that is when you have to pull from that money.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it said. They said that it's a result of the Wizards and Mystics ownership structure. That that it comes out of a $50,000 total each WNBA team allocates to pay their players for off-season work. So, like I said, with the $50,000, do they just break it up? Does that mean there's 4 other people only making $10,000 doing other different things?
No, it's actually way skewed, because Elena Del Don is getting that 40. So she gets the 10, and then Elena Del Don, and all Elena is doing is marketing, like promoting the Mystics.
Oh, wow.
So again, it's like, it really is. It's about negotiating. It's about women saying, I'm not going to do that, right? I mean, because no shade at all to Christy Tolliver, but
no, not at all.
I would not take that job.
No.
I would not take that position for $10,000. I would have to be willing to walk away. And so really, it's like, sometimes you can only do to me what I'm going to let you do to me, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe in her mind, the payoff makes sense. I do this for $10,000 for, this short amount of time.
Well, she's very excited about the opportunity. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's on my resume. I'll be fine with money on the back end. So yeah, I think, you have to, women, especially women in these positions, they weigh their options. They are forward thinking with their careers. So, for her and maybe a lot of others, it does make sense. But I do think it goes back to our negotiating skills and saying, okay, we're not going to just accept the bare minimum.
Right. Because off season, if she wanted to be an analyst, she'd make more.
Man. But
absolutely.
Any other team.
But I just feel like,
But then it's almost like, are the Wizards doing this just so they can get cheap labor at the same point? Like, I mean, really?
Well,
if you had a handful
of... Well, the argument is that, look, the Mystics are not earning like significant revenue. Part of what we're already paying you is from the Wizards. And so, we are going to ration off this money that you, and by some people's arguments, that you didn't necessarily earn in the most economical way possible for the organization. And I mean, if you look at it, that's what any business does, right? I'm not going to overpay you if I don't have to.
True.
You have to. You got to make me pay you.
Well, they know they don't have to. They're taking full advantage of that.
When they know they don't have to, they just keep business as usual.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just was taken back by that. I had never heard of anything like that in my life. But Ceceila, you definitely broke it down on how that works and kind of enlightened me on some other things. And when you do your summit, your pre-summit on the 20th, I feel like the art of negotiation needs to be one of those number one topics. And I mean, I feel like negotiating anything in a business thing, you've got to really be smart on that and know your worth too. And I think that's the thing with women.
That's right.
Knowing your
we
worth.
go into a man's world and we feel like, well, we have to kind of play along to get along or to move ahead. We've got to just take little crumbs. But it shouldn't be the case. Like the glass ceiling thing is just.
I love
Should be
it.
done.
Yeah.
Celia, where can everybody find, I guess, where they can register for the summit? It's going to be in Atlanta for the Super Bowl on January 30th.
Yep. And the website is gladiatorssummit.com. So they can get tickets there. But if you don't have a pin right now, just hit up Gladiators or my page, 40 Esquire, on Instagram, and there are links right there that'll take you right to the website and to the ticket site.
And I also played around with that too. If you go on the Eventbrite app,
Yeah.
because it is set up through Eventbrite, if you type in Gladiators,
Oh, wonderful.
it goes straight to her.
Well, shout out to
That's
Eventbrite.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Get on there.
Charlene-
the tickets are right there.
Charlene is the woman.
Shout out to Charlene,
Charlene,
for
yes.
making it
That's
happen.
right.
And
That's right.
don't think we're not going to keep talking about you and talking about this summit up until the Super Bowl and thereafter, because we will. We will definitely be promoting.
Well, I
and
really appreciate you, ladies.
pushing
Yes.
for anybody that's in
I
the
love it.
ATL area. They need to check it out. I'm going to
Or coming in. People are going to be, everyone's
Yeah.
flying in for it. So why not take the time to spend the day to
Right.
learn and get
Exactly.
positive
Right.
influence?
I mean,
you
I think
know?
that's just a great opportunity.
Man.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
low key like,
Like, dang.
I need to get to the Super Bowl.
Atlanta. Shoot.
I need to be in Atlanta right now.
For so many other reasons.
I'm missing out on pearls of wisdom right now. Some jewels, some gems about to be not dropped. So as far as your future goes, and we'll wrap you up, but
Yes.
as far as your future goes, what's the end game for you? I like to ask this. Where do you see yourself for the future? What are we doing with Gladiators and with yourself, Ceceila? Are we going to write a book on this? Are we going to do a whole bunch of different webinar? Like, where are we going?
You and Charlene in these books. For squares, I need to write a book. But,
I read books. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
I read books that I feel like books are good.
Yeah, no, they really are. Just writing them takes a lot of work.
Yes,
but
it does.
I really, the goal is to do some more workshops, get a lot more workshops done on a broader scale, on a more national scale. We currently work with student athletes at the collegiate level, so we want to broaden that to start working with professional athletes who are, about to transition to life after sport, women, obviously,
Yeah.
and to increase our mentorship program and really just spreading the word of women's empowerment. And that
I love it.
pretty much is my plan. So that's a plan for Gladiators, but also my personal plan.
Well, I love it. I think it's amazing, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
We do. We thank you.
Thank you.
And your tags for both for Twitter and Instagram, they're all here on the live feed, right underneath your picture, by your picture, Sporty Esquire, as well as Gladiate Hers. Ceceila, this, as always, is wonderful. I was so happy to hear from Charlene and also to reconnect with you. We can't wait to have both of you guys here in Vegas one day.
Yes,
awesome.
we need to,
It would
yes,
be
we need to
lovely.
make that happen.
Yes,
Yes,
that'd be
yes,
awesome.
indeed. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening out there in Atlanta. I know it's a little bit later than here, so we'll let you go.
All right, thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
Charlene.
Thank you.
That was Cecelia.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm thinking of Charlene now. Bye.
Charlene, you're next.
Bye.
That's what's happening.
Bye-bye. Yeah, Charlene needs to be on too. She's like trying to promote this lady. I love it though. I think this is just such an awesome opportunity.
It's
for
amazing.
me.
And watching
Yeah.
those IG
Oh,
the
yeah.
live feeds,
Yeah,
I learned a lot.
I did
I
too.
continuously learn. I'm like, dang, like, here's the thing. Not that I took college very seriously, which is partly my fault. But had I taken it more seriously and realized what I really wanted to do, or knew that sports careers were an option, I
Right.
didn't think at that time, and this is like late 90s, that those were options for me. I knew that you could do broadcasting, yeah, you could do journalism, but it wasn't like you could get in there and do like be an agent or work with them on
yeah.
the team or do training
Absolutely.
or I mean, it wasn't. I guess maybe I
Well,
wasn't
you have
really
a lot
looking
of
either.
I know for sure. Shout out to Zach, Miriam, whole squad. Zach's daughter just recently graduated from Grambling in a degree in kinesiology. She's already got a job working with one of the NFL teams.
Really?
Yes. So they're there. It's just a matter of us knowing.
I got some goals on people I'm trying to get on as guests this year.
and they know some people too. So
Yes.
it's like, Zach, work with me. Let me know. But yeah, his daughter. Big ups to her. Big ups to Brooklyn on that.
I
So
love
that's
these
dope.
stories. Like,
Yeah.
The one thing I found, this is one thing I'm trying to work on for 2019 too, is really having a great support system, because I find that ladies out there are not supporting each other.
Well, that's why I was saying with Cecelia,
Yeah.
I was admiring the fact that she was sharing. You have a lot of sisters out there that will not let you get past the door. Like,
Women,
oh,
period,
yeah,
too.
women, just
Mhm.
anybody. And I'm saying sisters, all my sisters.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. That will stop you. They'll stop you harder than a guy.
There's people in our friend circle that'll stop you.
Oh, yeah.
Real close.
What is that all about?
I don't know, and I'm still trying to get the vibe.
I don't
from
know. I
that.
evaluate my friend circle. My friend circle's pretty tight, and I think we all are good about sharing stuff. We don't let too much
Right.
slip out. But
That's good.
big ups to her. You guys follow her, please.
Yes.
I'm encouraging everybody. Follow her on IG. She's dope, amazing, just does
Crazy,
great
dude.
work. And so, yeah. I mean, she broke down that 10,000. The art of negotiation.
That's
all I gotta
We're gonna
say.
end that one there.
The art of negotiating.
We wish her. I can't even. My thing is that, Christy, I want more for you. And so I want her to like take this 10 and this year and flip it and turn into something for 2020 or 19 off season or something. Cause I feel like there's way more value in what she has to offer than 10 grand.
Yeah.
So.
That was a given. She's on a team. She has experience. She played with the Sparks. She played with them during the championship time. Like, come on. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
So how about our Golden Knights?
Man, listen. When I tell you,
Second place. I hate to just say, because we'll be on this all day, but
We
I just
will.
want to talk about the Knights really quickly.
so Vegas sports real quick.
Vegas sports real
Yes.
quick. The Knights are second place in the Pacific Division.
And they've won 3 straight. So since
Yes.
we recorded last Wednesday, they haven't lost a game, which is, let me just.
Well, I think it had a lot to do with the dads over the Saturday.
Oh, you think
over
it
this
was?
past
Talk
weekend.
about.
So
I
basically-
I was a little emotional with this.
I thought that was, I know you were.
Yeah.
But you could have my dad.
Yeah.
Even though he calls
I
you
got
Melanie.
a lot of good. I got a lot of good
Yeah,
stepdads
even though he
out
calls you
there.
Melanie, and I'm like, Dad, it's Melissa, because he knows just Mel, so he thinks it's Melanie.
Got you.
Shout out to Dad.
Shout out to
Melissa.
Dad.
But anyway, they were able this past weekend to take their dads on their 2 road game trips.
Yes, and if not a dad, a father figure,
Father
could have been like
figure,
your wife's
mentor,
father,
yeah,
or anyone
anybody.
else. Yeah.
Yes, but it was like a male bonding kind of experience. Take
Yeah.
your guy, your bro,
Yeah.
2
And you got
games,
2 away games.
2 away
It was
games.
LA
Well,
and Arizona.
Yep, and they won both of them.
That was amazing.
Power of the influence. Power.
And they
of
were all, and
energy.
if you watch the interviews with the players, they were talking about their dad. They're talking about like they were so excited about this trip,
Oh,
and that the
yeah.
moms are at home mad and da, da, da.
Yeah.
But that's so perfect. Like I remember my brother and my dad had taken a trip to like spring training and drove down in my dad's truck one year. Like that's
Nice.
just some bonding
It
that
is
you
a
just
bonding
don't
you just-
get.
yeah,
You bond
absolutely.
over sports. I feel like, and even if as a woman you should do it with your father or your
Absolutely.
whoever else. But as a boy, that's for sure something that's awesome.
Yeah. And
Is
so
it-
they're doing it. So the magic touch is that. And then can I just tell you real quick, Brandon Peary,
Man, hello, what happened?
they
I swear we were like, oh, he has to go down to the.
no, bring him back. Keep him.
Keep
him on
him.
the squad.
He is
doing it.
ridiculous.
He's doing it.
Got his
Fleury's
6th
always
goal.
amazing. 6th goal.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, man. I
He's
love
on
that
fire.
kid. And I say kid, but he's not. I mean, he's not like,
No, but he's dope.
He's
He's
dope.
all time. And congratulations to Marc-Andre Fleury, too, because now he's
Yes.
NHL All-Star.
The Pacific Division
So the
All-Star,
Pacific
yeah.
Division, so big ups to him on that.
And he got his 6th shootout.
Yeah. And then Mark, hey, let's not forget, not Mark, I'm sorry, Malcolm Subban.
Subban.
Yep.
30
shots. He
I love
stopped 30 shots.
We need
And that Kings game.
Yeah.
30.
Shout out to Natalie because I know Natalie's birthday is this month. There's a lot of
Oh.
all my girlfriends are Capricorns. Sandy, Sheree,
Shout out to my
Shamika.
mom, January 18th.
Yeah, all these Capricorn
Caps.
women. So
Caps in
we're
the
trying to
house.
go to a Golden Knights game.
Oh, that would
which
be
made
fun.
me think about that. So maybe we should all try and participate.
Yeah. What a great idea.
Like I got gold pants just for them.
Do you?
Yeah, I know.
Are they sequin?
No, they're like I don't know how to explain it. They're like Joe's, but they were gold.
Oh, that's dope.
It's kind of dope. I
I
can't
like
wait
that.
to wear them.
So speaking of hockey, we also have the
Yes.
Ice Vegas Invitational.
Okay, talk about
So
that.
that starts January 4th
This
and
weekend?
5th. It's this weekend. It's going to be a team tournament with collegiate
At
hockey
T-Mobile,
teams
right?
at T-Mobile.
Okay.
Featuring Yukon, Air Force, and Western Michigan. So Air Force is also playing. So on January 4th, Yukon versus Western Michigan is at 5 p.m. at T-Mobile, followed by Air Force facing St. Lawrence at 8:30. And then they have the championship game consolation games. That's Saturday. So
Okay.
Friday's a tournament. Then we determine who advances to the championship. So that's going to be January 5th. And both
we
of
trying to get, and you can win tickets.
Yes, you can. If you listen to Let the Ball Bounce, shout out to the
Nope, Unnamed Sports Show.
Oh, the Unnamed Sports Show? Darn. Got it messed up. Dang it.
One of those other shows.
One of those other shows.
One of those shows
one of those
produced
shows
here at
produced
Guerilla
here,
Cross
part of the
Radio.
Guerilla Cross family.
2
Yes.
p.m. tomorrow. Tune in.
2 p.m. tomorrow.
Win
So you could have
yourself some
chimed in
tickets.
on that for us, Quan. Shoot.
2 p.m.
I was
tomorrow.
loud. I was loud. 2 p.m.
So that'll be exciting. I
It
want
will
to
be.
see how. Look it. I love me some hockey now.
Yeah.
Can we just 1 minute, 1 second maybe?
Go for it.
This was the last weekend of regular season football.
Yeah. My Raiders, I don't get to see them anymore for another year.
I just don't know. Listen, January does always take a while to get through, just in calendar terms.
Right.
Like it seems like it goes on for 6 months,
Right.
which is great because it's good football. It's good college football. It's good regular
Man.
football. But after that, I'm heartbroken for a good month.
We got basketball. Come on.
I know. I'm still trying to. I know. I got to do better basketball.
You do. It's getting good right now, too.
I just almost prefer hockey over it for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, keep it up because hockey, we're on a roll right now. Like
yeah,
I said,
I'm all for it.
Let's keep winning these games. And
So next home game for the Golden Knights
Yeah, when is
is on the 6th, this
Okay.
Sunday against the Devils.
oh, yeah, we got that.
All
We can
right.
beat them.
All right.
We got that.
Nothing much has changed for UNLV basketball or UNR basketball. Or
They have a game tonight. They're
They
playing
do have a
Colorado
game.
State.
Yeah. So
And the Lady Rebels have a game tonight. How are they going to do two?
they do that all the time.
Why do they do
got two.
that?
Huh?
Why do they do that?
Because
You're going to split people from going to one to the. Man,
well,
come
no,
on.
the women are in Colorado.
No, it's home.
Really?
Yes,
Are
at
you
6
sure?
o'clock.
I feel like it wasn't.
I looked
don't
it
know.
up online. I thought they were here too at 6 o'clock. And
I
then the
don't know.
men's game is at 7:30. And I just feeling like,
Maybe
why y'all
their-
splitting
maybe
them
their
up
games
like
go
that?
real quick. I don't know.
I don't know.
But UNR, talk about your boys up there in the north, man.
Man,
what,
they are
13-0?
13-0, and they're one of the 4 teams that are undefeated right now in collegiate basketball. So you
That's
got
crazy.
Michigan that's undefeated, you got Virginia that's undefeated,
Mhm.
them, and then Houston as well. So we're gonna keep riding this, but I know they've got a game coming up. I don't know when, but against Fresno. That's gonna be their tough
Oh,
one because
really?
Fresno doesn't lose a home game at all. They
Fresno
haven't-
again? We got
Fresno has
football
not
and
lost-
basketball,
Fresno
huh?
has not lost a home game.
Dang.
So that's going to be an interesting game to watch. We're going to see
Hmm.
who wins big and goes home on that.
Wow. Shout out to Tommy. He posted a video over the weekend
Oh,
from the lights.
said he
Yes.
did, and I
so that
reposted
was
it,
cool.
yes.
We enjoyed him.
yes. And don't forget
um,
February 2nd,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, they got
That's going to be good.
their MLS swing through.
Mhm.
A couple of teams from MLS will be playing the guys
Yeah.
to kind of see where they stand, I guess.
Are we going to that?
We should.
Because that's a
February what?
daytime game.
Yeah, February
early.
2nd
It's not
at
even
2?
nighttime. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be cold. It's cold as heck.
It is gonna
in
be cold.
February still. Yeah.
What day is that on? Do you know?
The 2nd?
The 2nd? Let me look at my calendar real quick.
Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday?
Yep,
Oh.
it's a Saturday.
If I'm not
so
working.
that'll be Toronto here on the 2nd, and then Colorado Rapids on the 16th. So that's awesome. The Aces, we talked about Russia Brown. That's going to be joining the Women's Empowerment
Right.
Summit for Gladiators. But also, I thought this was funny. Like this was like 2 weeks ago. But Kayla McBride, I love Kayla McBride, right? And she was talking. She's a Steelers fan, but she was talking about how is it weird that she's a Steelers fan but doesn't like the Sixers, but loves the Celtics, but doesn't like the Patriots. And I kind of feel like I would rather be a Steelers fan than a Patriots fan.
Right.
And I'd probably more so. Well, I don't know. I like the Sixers, I think, but I don't know. It was funny though, because I get it. You know.
Yeah, speaking of this Steelers, what's going on with AB?
What's up with Adrian? Or Adrian?
Not, we getting everybody's names all mixed up.
I know.
Antonio Brown.
Man, that's why I have to sit my butt down this
Right.
weekend and not go anywhere else. I need to like recoup.
I think I'm still coming off of my party. I don't know
Yo,
what's going on.
Antonio,
Man, I ate, like,
Here's the deal.
he didn't show up for practice.
Well,
he's saying he has
didn't
injury
show up for
flare-ups.
right,
He didn't
and
show
then
up
he
for
left
practice.
during halftime.
Yes,
That no matter if you're injured or not, is not acceptable.
right.
And we already know that he has been having issues throughout this season with, the coaching or with his, the looks he's getting or whatever the case. But what can you do?
Tomlin says he has no issues with him.
Well, I don't know. I feel like he kind of thinks there's like this piggyback of Tomlin and Roethlisberger against him. But my thing is that I understood that Roethlisberger had an interview on a podcast. Can't remember what it was called, but it wasn't ours. But he had it wasn't ours yet. But he mentioned how they just don't want this stuff in the locker room. Like, can you imagine having this along with the McCoy or with LaShawn and who else? There was something else that happened in their life. I mean, all that stuff happening in 1 year.
Yeah.
That I couldn't handle that.
Let
alone to win games.
49ers because he's now following all of them, but he can't go anywhere because guess what? They'll be out of money. If they do.
Technically he can go, but they're going to lose
a lot
major
of money. A few million.
Yeah, and they're talking about how they could probably, do some fines against him for certain things, but still that's a lot of.
Okay, we're rolling into the playoffs. What are they going to do? What's he going to do?
Nothing. There is nothing.
And while we're on the subject, the Eagles are Philly.
Eagles are in. Vikings are out.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I can't. And then the Patriots get second again, and so they get another nice little weekend home to just chill out with Giselle and the kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
of course.
Talking
Patriots.
Smack, Natalie. I already know what you're doing right now. We got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah. If anybody wants to give us a call real quick.
Give us a call.
702-608.
As long as you're not talking about Patriots. Just kidding.
702-608-3259. That's the number. Give us a call real quick. We could talk about, we can roll in the NBA real quick. I'm just going to talk about James Harden real fast.
Yo, Harden.
Whatever he's sipping on.
You want some.
I need it. This is coming out of nowhere. I do not understand what is going on, but this man is carrying a Houston Rockets team like no other.
So he joins Michael Jordan and Kobe in being only the third player to have scored over 400 points in 10 games.
He's doing a
Wait, can you just comprehend that though for a second? 400 points in 10 games. That's insane. And we know Kobe was ball hog, but
Kobe wasn't a ball hog. That's okay. Come on. He'd hog it a little bit, but he was he was clutch. He was our guy. That's what we had to do.
I get it. So so that's crazy, just in itself. But then he had 8 40-point games so far.
Yes.
Your boy is ridiculous.
He matched his career high of 9 threes in a
game.
game.
Chris Paul isn't there, so I guess he's just trying to pick up slack for Chris. Is that what we're doing? Just shooting for both of us? And then he had 27 free throws made. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
And so on Twitter, he clapped back with, "Well, stop fouling me if you don't want me to take free throws." Like, boop.
And that's funny coming from him because you know what? He pushes off sometime and he fouls heavily and dirty too. And they never call it against him. So I don't want anybody to be, whatever, James Harden.
What about your Lakers, though?
Oh, yeah. So we're on the absence of LeBron.
And
everybody thinks that we're going to crumble because LeBron's not there. But in all actuality, our team is stepping up. Like, we played this past Thursday against Sacramento, and we were very close to winning that game. Bogdanovich.
You were close,
shot
but
that
you
three.
didn't.
We didn't, but we all stepped up. Lonzo had a triple-double that night.
Yeah.
That was his second triple-double.
And Rondo was out too, right?
Yeah, Rondo's still out.
He's still
because
out.
he's with his. It's another injury. It's like with the finger with the same whatever. But we've got some beasts on our team that are really showing. Kuz is doing his thing. Brandon Ingram is stepping up. Tyson Chandler. Lance Stevenson had a ball-out game. Like, we're pulling it together. And believe it or not, we lost that game, and then we lost the next game after that.
Yeah.
But then we had Sacramento again
That was
at
the
home.
Clippers, I think, wasn't it, or something?
Yes, because Lou Williams just
Yeah.
dominated, as usual. Former Laker. I don't know why we got rid of Lou. But anyway, I digress. But then the last game we just played against Sacramento, we beat them with no LeBron.
With no LeBron. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how long is there any update as to how long LeBron is out?
No, they're taking it day by day. I'm not sure.
And Rondo's still out.
Right.
Okay.
And then there's a game tonight, I believe. We play OKC.
Oh, okay.
So I need to check and see what the score is
Anything
on that.
else that I've missed because I'm not watching the NBA too well right now?
I mean, LeBron sitting up, I guess a video just recently streamed out about him in the locker room with the
seen
Cavs,
that.
talking
Yeah.
about that Game 6 and how Golden State Warriors were just
Right.
kind of effed up mentally.
And how he's the
physically.
GOAT because he beat them.
Well, he also said he was the GOAT because he was able to bring a championship home to Cleveland, which I feel like anybody's a GOAT doing that.
Right.
That's just like when the Indians won the World Series. They were GOATs for that because the Indians ain't won a World Series in I don't know how long.
I think it was
So-
great. I don't think it makes him the GOAT because of it.
I think he's still a GOAT.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
a GOAT.
I think there's many goats. There's like a big,
Right.
field of goats.
Absolutely. And even when Jordan sat down and talked about his GOAT status,
Sure.
and he humbly was like, I don't really see myself as a GOAT when you have somebody like Wilt Chamberlain and you have
Right.
Bill Russell and you have all these other people before me. So
It's hard to
everybody's
compare
always
yourself
going to,
like
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
I think you're a GOAT in your own right. That's why I hate these analysis where Kobe's this against LeBron. No, Kobe is who he is because he's Kobe Bryant.
Right.
And let's just leave it right there. The man has an Oscar. How many athletes have an Oscar? I'm just saying. Yeah, if that ain't GOAT status, I don't know what is.
I don't know what
And can we talk
is.
about, just to segue into MMA
Yeah.
real quick? 'Cause
Okay,
you watched
yes.
the John Jones fight.
Man.
Amanda Nunes,
Amanda
Two-time.
Nunes.
two-time.
She
featherweight
took
and bantamweight.
Cyborg out in 41 seconds cold.
51.
51.
She did the same thing to Rousey. 51.
And
That's her
didn't-
number.
They say Chris Cyborg, she hadn't lost
No, she's
for
been
like,
undefeated this whole time.
years.
But I don't know if Cyborg had been training. I haven't heard any other fights with her. Does anybody? I mean,
I don't know, but Amanda came put hands on her.
Hey, I don't want no.
I
Smoke
want
from
those
her.
skills. I want
I
those
don't want
skills.
any smoke
I'm
from
gonna be
her.
back at True with my boxing gloves. Like, teach me some Amanda Nunes stuff. For real.
And then
Oh,
BJ Penn
man.
tapped out too. Like he had an early tap out. I heard.
And that was after moving the whole 232 from Vegas to
To
LA,
LA.
to help John Jones complete, which he did very well, and he won that fight. But
Yeah.
they, you moved the fight just for him.
Yeah. That was a draw though. That was a big draw.
I feel like Dana has like a teacher's pet or something. But that's whatever.
And then our boy Money Mayweather, 139 seconds, winning $9 million.
First of all, so we thought it was a publicity stunt that happened like a month or two ago about the whole
Right.
Japanese
And we were in October
fighter.
talking about
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
and he was saying, "No, I don't
no,
want
it's
it to
not
be
happening.
It's not happening."
Well, it happened, and if anybody else out there knew about it, I didn't know. You kind of
I
knew
knew
about
about
it,
it, but I didn't wanna mention
it
it 'cause
wasn't
it wasn't
posted. It wasn't
yeah.
like we didn't
Wasn't
know for sure it
published
was
or
a
anything.
fact. Maybe. Well, it
Right.
went down. He won, and 9 million. How many seconds?
139 seconds. 139 seconds.
That is so insane to me. I can't understand. So, but before we go,
Yeah.
there was a couple moments that I wanted
Yes,
to share.
yeah.
One was Tyler Strong.
Oh,
So this
yes.
was
Rest
the
in
kid from
peace.
Purdue. He was a student there who was battling this crazy cancer that was affecting his bones.
Mhm.
It was his third time having to deal with this.
Yeah.
He was basically an inspiration for Purdue, for the entire college, for almost most of America in his story.
Yep.
And the way he stayed strong and faithful and just, completely was blessed in life and was so happy with, just letting things happen. I mean, he knew he had terminal cancer.
Right.
He knew his time was coming, but
Right.
he continued to maintain and be supportive to not only Purdue, but just, as like just like a symbol for society. And he passed away.
Yes, he
So rest in peace to him,
Rest in
and
peace to
condolences to his family and all of Purdue. I'm sure they're all kind of heartbroken over it.
Oh yeah. Even he was a Colts fan too.
Yeah.
So he was
Good
meeting little
kid.
huddles with them. I mean, just a great kid.
And also your boy Kobe.
Yes, Mambasita number 4. He's having another girl.
Did she get a ring for this one too?
I don't know. I wonder what her push
throw
gift's
it
gonna
out
be
there.
though. I don't know.
Just-
I don't know what her push gift is gonna be for this, but yes, they're having another baby. It's gonna be a girl, Mambasita. He made an
Oh, that's
announcement on
good.
Twitter and on Instagram.
And then for our girl power, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but there's this young lady,
yeah.
Patima Sherpa.
Yeah.
I mentioned her.
In
Did I already do
Nepal.
that?
No, you
In
didn't.
Nepal. So she's in Nepal. She was raised in like the golf shack on
Yeah,
this
I read that.
golf course in
Yeah,
Nepal.
in the maiden
raised
shack.
with her family, like in half the shack, because
Right.
half the shack is still for some of the equipment.
Right.
Raised there, and basically has been hitting balls and hitting balls. She finally got to meet Tiger. Basically, this family in California took her in for 2 months because the guy that did the story was like, "Hey, I'm gonna connect you with some people." Blah blah blah. This
Wow.
girl is amazing. I'm following her on Instagram, and I hope that one day we could maybe get her. She is phenomenal, and her story was a 30 for 30. You guys have to check it out.
Speaking of 30 for 30, real quick too. too. Deion Sanders 30 for 30 is coming. Okay. It airs January 31st at the end of the month. And Primetime is going to talk about not only playing dual sports, but
we've had the dual sport competition.
Yes, and his mental state with that. Suicidal.
Wow.
Tendencies and thoughts. Just the breakdown of after that. The after.
Which gets us back to our topic that we'll have to put off to next week again.
We talk about Josh Gordon. I know. But this film will capture 24 hours in October of 1992 when Sanders sandwiched a pro football game between a pair of postseason baseball games in two different cities located 1,000 miles apart.
Insane.
He had to play that at the same time. That's going to be a good 30 for 30. So
I can't wait.
I want everybody to check that out.
Yeah.
So
that was good.
That was it.
Man.
Big ups to Cecelia for coming, calling in. We really
Yes.
appreciate it. I mean, that was just an amazing interview with her.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Quan, our producer.
Yes.
Shout out to Guerilla Cross Radio. If you guys haven't already, you need to download this app. Guerilla Cross Radio app.
Listen
It's
live
a free
with
app.
us.
Listen live. Watch
the
live.
videos
all of
replayed.
Where can they find you, Mel?
At Seattle4_life, Seattle4_. All social media. Follow us at Girl Chat Sports. Join the Girl Chat Sports Facebook group as well.
Absolutely, yes.
And Mo, what about you?
I am at AICENOM. That is my name spelled backwards. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and I do check in from Facebook from time to time. I'm still trying to get reacclimated. This Facebook thing is just gives me anxiety.
And ladies, I know you're out there, but call in. There's no question that's not okay.
Right. We've had good talk, so I mean,
I know. We could talk for hours.
We could. We really could. We really could. But we gotta go. And don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic. Listen in.
Yeah, if you don't make the live shows, you can always watch the ones that are or listen in later.
Absolutely. And then check out Guerilla Cross Radio on YouTube because our videos are uploaded on that as well.
Yes.
And again, shout out to everybody for the new year. Let's bring it.
2019 is about to be amazing.
We are reclaiming our time.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Go Seahawks. I had to, right?